Hey, welcome back to another Age of Mythology 1v1. We have, in this right-hand corner of the screen, a blue player playing as Gaia. Ooh, so we're going to see some economic plays by this blue player at some point. Wait a minute, this is Daedalus. I'm like looking at, why does Gaia have a berserk? Just kidding. Gaia's on the right side of the screen over here, so I thought this was Gaia. This is Friar. Friar does not have oracles. He has a berserk as a scout because he's Norse. And we have the player Daedalus playing Friar today. So we'll see Daedalus on the left-hand side of the UI, but the right-hand side of the map today. And on the other side, in green, ooh, very fitting, we have Gaia. That green is beautiful with Gaia's lush forest here on the ground, or lush as she builds up right here. Gaia gets lush that spreads from her town center, houses, and economic buildings like this one. All right, so we see Gaia putting up a forest next to a forest. I don't know if that's the best use of it. From what I've seen, a lot of Gaia players will use the forest on top of one of the, like their forward watchtower, like this one. You put the Gaia forest right here, and then it can't get attacked. Like an army would come over here, and they wouldn't be able to attack it because they'd be surrounded by forest. A very interesting play. I've started doing that myself when I play Gaia. Because then you could just have your villagers gather from the forest. It's not like they have to walk a long way to drop off anyways. It's your citizens. The Atlanteans just drop off food. They don't need to drop off at a site. So let's see what kind of economic plays we see from Gaia today. A very interesting map. We have a few mountain passes set up in different areas. Settlements that can be protected by mountains. Just build a couple walls around them. Interesting looking map. All right, while the players are gathering, let's take a look at some of the relics. We have 4 relics on the map today. This one's a little bit closer to blue. We'll start up top. We have Villagers Train Faster, an amazing relic to pick up early on, of course. This will give you an advantage over your opponent in the long term. If you're going to build 100 villagers throughout the game, why not stop at your opponent is at 95? I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but 5% can really carry out throughout the game. You're going to be gathering a little bit faster than your opponent throughout the rest of the match. Over here in the middle, we have Archimedes' Ledger. Siege weapons take less population space. Not a bad late game relic. In the late game, you're building siege, and they take up a few population, like 3 a lot of the time. And having it being reduced down to 2 can mean you can fit some more units into your army in the late game with the same population amount. Not a bad relic. On the bottom left, we have increases villagers' movement speed by 10%. An amazing relic, obviously, for the same reason as the other one. And your villagers will gather slightly faster, meaning you'll get resources slightly faster. This is arguably better than the 5% reduction in train time. Actually, they're both really good. This one gives you resources over the long term, and this one will give you resources right away. You'll immediately see a bump in your resource speed, gathering speed. Not a bad relic. It's probably the best one on the map so far. Oh my god, a bunch of villager relics today. So we have villagers gather wood and gold faster by 5%. This will obviously make you gather wood and gold faster than your opponent, meaning more siege weapons potentially, but more buildings in the early game faster. Not a bad choice. He's not going after this relic. He's on a hero. Green is just taking a look around. Almost reaching age 2 very quickly. Reaching age 2, by the way. It doesn't even look like Blue's got his temple up yet. Oh, there it is. Who just finished his temple right outside Green's base. So we're going to see some aggression from the Friar player. He does not have enough food to age up yet. So it'll be a while before this aggression comes out. But we have a counter barracks coming out from Gaia early. we're probably going to see Terma. But a counter barracks is a great defensive building because whatever you anticipate your opponent building or whatever you see your opponent building, you can counter it with a counter barracks, right? Terma if they're building archers. What are they called? Catapultes against cavalry. And what's their counter infantry? It's not Murmillo. I forget what it's called. Maybe we'll see some. We have Murmillo coming out. Cursors from blue. Blue is expanding. He's taking over the middle of the map. He wants to take this food. Not a bad choice. It is good. Like, you would think, like, oh, why not take his back hunt, right? But think about this. When he gets pushed off of these resources inevitably, if he doesn't gather them all, because he's gathering them really early, so he's going to try to take as much as he can as early as he can. If Herser's going on to the Oracle, looks like it's going to live. Friar's too early of an age to do much damage with his Hersers. His Hersers have 0.8 attack, doing no damage basically. Only good against myth units, and even his Berserk is only at 0.7. He decides to build some walls to try to trap him. The Carnivora comes out, starts attacking. Gonna take out that Herser. An interesting play by Blue to say the least. I don't think he did a whole lot, and he kind of lost a lot of resources in his army. But I guess it could be worse. Villagers dropping off food at a very distant ox cart for some reason. He never built another ox cart up forward. He's got this one over here just sitting idly. Alright, we have more fighting. First, they're going on the Carnivora. Now actually able to do some damage at 8.8. The Murmillo coming around. You know, they can do some damage. The Cersers are pretty tough though. But these are hero Murmillo. They're not joking. He's not joking around. And he's got way more of them. Goes in on the Draugr, kills it very quickly with his heroes. And he goes in on the Hersers. Why doesn't he kill him? Coming up with more Murmillos to fight off the Berserkers. Gonna take out some of the buildings. Some more Berserkers coming in to help. Green doing a good job defending. For the most part, Blue's exhausting a lot of resources. He turns some of these hunters or villagers into Berserkers to give him an edge. Now he's lost his military, or the half of it at least. While the other half is busy attacking these buildings. Who decides to finish off this wall over here for some reason. I'm surprised the Carnivora isn't eating the Berserkers. Now the hero Murmillos are on the Berserkers. This is a bad position for Blue. He's definitely going to lose everything here. Realizes he's losing the fight, even against just 3 Murmillos. Full health Herser's back. Maybe he can, if Green focuses, he can get some of these kills, but no, it's too much. Who wins the fight and maintains his position up here. Very tactical thinking to turn some of the villagers into Berserkers really quick. It's not like he's low on food or anything, so he's gathered these resources in the middle, turn them into Berserkers. and are using them to hold a position right outside green's base. He's keeping blue locked into his base. We're gonna build a wall down here to make sure he doesn't get attacked from the south. You might want to do the same up here if with the same thinking, but you might just want to leave it. You got some villagers attacking the Oracle, dang, and doing some pretty decent damage. 5 damage each attack. Gonna try to run the Oracle away. There it is, 2 more hits, 1 more, and he's dead. Villagers earning themselves a kill. This one. What a beast. And building up a small army of his own. He could be the commanding the carnivore to attack the wall, but I must have forgotten about it. Is he switching to gold over here, it looks like? Yeah, so what I was saying is, yeah, it's good to take the resources in the middle if you can actually hold them. Because then you still have your resources back at base. See, now he's finally gathering the hunt back here. Otherwise, it'd be done and he'd be forced to move into the middle, which is harder to do in the mid game. Right? If he was forced to move to take these resources now, it'd be like he'd have to defend it with units, but if you take the resources early before anybody's got an army, then you always have yours back at base. Green, kind of like Green's situation right now. He's going for this gold. He doesn't know. He does not know that there's already units here. Maybe he's not going for the gold. What's he going for over here?
Herr Joe's?
Going for the hunt in the corner. And blue just watched this happen. His ox cart was right next to it the entire time. This conga line of citizens that are easy ripe for the taking. Well, blue showed some early aggression in order to maintain map control. But now he's slowed down, he's expanded, he's gotten a second town center. Daedal is showing some aggression, and we have David just playing the defensive game. Just casually walking by these ox carts, you know, no big deal. There's sheep that are just sitting here too. He's got 6 sheep that he could easily kill and gather from. We have a few berserks just walking into the base and dying. Blue trying to make a sneaky play, but seeing that there's a wall already built there, now discouraged from fighting. He does not have a large force. Green has a larger force, but it's hard to tell with these. There's just a couple of citizens. He's got some Terma for range. Murmillo's as a front line. Blue is upgrading his walls to stone walls and stopping green from building his wall. Blue accidentally walks his army over here, is what it looked like just happened. Another carnivore comes out. Goes down quickly. Eats a unit though. Green's much larger force is going to easily take out Blue's. Blue just casually walking through his army, Green's army, taking lots of damage. But does retreat. Now his army's attacking the Carnivora, manages to take it out, and I don't think, yeah, I didn't think he meant to push forward into green space like that. Once again, a jogger coming out, and it's gonna die. Yep, there it goes. When you're retreating, you really got to put your army really far away, because look, they just see an enemy and they immediately dive. And this is terrible for gameplay. Like, you lose half your army when stuff like this happens. Both players just did it. Look, I don't think Green's meaning to a fight over here, but the units saw an enemy and they just go, oh, okay, let's go fight them. Now they chase. Green realizes and he backs up. Blue building portable rams to bust into Green's base now. They're going to do some damage, but Blue does not have a strong military. Green forced to come around. Blue's sending his rams at just a ditch effort to try to take out the TC. It won't happen, but he's going to do a lot of damage. Vermillo successfully take out the rams. Blue's retreating back once again to the safety of his walls. Very interesting plays coming from Blue. Tactical forward walling. I don't see it very often. Walls are usually used for defense, but this player is actually using them for offense. Take some notes. The Rams come up. They're going to die easily before taking out the TC. Throwing Axeman doing serious damage to this infantry. He's throwing Axeman going way too far. Blue definitely not watching his army. Blue just building rams. He doesn't care. Green is not able to stop him fast enough. Another Carnivora comes out, ineffectively stopping anything. The Rams continue to just shred. The TC goes down. Wow, just a bum roughage of ramps. He doesn't even have a good military. But he just bums rushes with 3 or 4 rams at a time and manages to take out a structure or two. Green building watchtowers up here for some reason. Not a very strong position. I know it was the middle, but Blue clearly had this area taken. He needed to have watchtowers lining this wall. But they would have just been killed by the Rams anyway, so hard to say what would have been a better play. Blue can completely ignore this entrance. But he decides to take out the towers anyways. Alright, what do we have? More Rams coming out. More Draugr. Green continuing to try to build up walls, but for what purpose? I don't know. They just get destroyed by the Rams. Green moves in with his military. He needs to take out these throwing axemen. They're shredding his Murmillo. I know he's going after the Rams, but Green with no TC calls it. Yeah, I mean that's how it goes. You lose your TC to forward Ram walls. It's crazy. Forward Rams and forward walls. What could you even do? Poor Green. Like it was the Rams that finished it too. He had a solid defense, but wasn't able to expand and go outward, and Blue was able to take advantage of that, keeping him in his base. Good job to Blue. Daedalus. Even look at Green's army size. Insane. Like that game looked like Green was on top, at least army wise. Like he was on his back foot because he was back in his base, but he had the larger army most of the game, and this clearly shows that. But Blue was able to just come back and take advantage of it. Green losing army, Blue able to build up and keep pushing and taking out the structures, just gave him the victory. Green couldn't do Green was just on the back foot the whole time, having to keep retreating back into his base. He was stuck in his base the entire game, couldn't do anything. He was even able to send villagers outwards that Blue didn't see, but you know, it wasn't enough to build and keep off the Rams. I mean, the Rams were insane. That's what won it for Blue. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe. You can leave a comment or feedback. That'd be great. But above all else, just remember to stay awesome out there. I know it's hard right now, but you got to keep your cool. See you later.